Should we read anything into the kind of repeated delays and a deadline for that? We saw a similar thing with the red flags rule at the kind of federal level. Was there a lack of kind of end user input or buy-in to those during the planning process? And is that why, I mean, were the regulations as they were formulated kind of tone deaf to what the reality is on the ground, or was it really just we need to pull people way forward of where they are right now around these issues of data security and data privacy?
I think it's partially, I think it's a little bit of both.
Mm-hmm.
Plus the buzzsaw of the economy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was going to mention too, we've seen that.
Ran right into that.
Yeah, what we noticed was when people try to take this data masking thing on their own internally, they start peeling back the onion. It's very, very complex. And it gets very, very expensive very quickly if you're dealing with a very large corporation. So I'm sure if they were at these meetings, putting up their hands saying, listen, we have enough trouble as it is right now. The market's getting killed, people losing their jobs. We need to get healthy first. And we've seen that in OSI, which is the Option Symbology Initiative as well. They push that out for the same reasons, and but I think that's going to stop.
Part of the red flag issue with the constant delays at the FTC level, I think that was a lack of communication. The financial services industry and the creditors, in the traditional sense of creditors, understood what they needed to do. Financial services has been living with the red flag rule since November 8th of last year.
Right.
November 1st of last year.
Right.
So they implemented it very quickly. I think it was the everybody else that, when the FTC started saying, well, we actually define creditors very broadly. That was when people started panicking at a much more micro level and saying, well, wait a minute, we're not a creditor. We don't issue credit. We allow people to, and then they get into the utilities, the doctors, the whole 9 yards. I think it was a lack of communication on the FTC's part.
What is the scope of this? Is this large banks and financial services companies serving, or is it anyone who has customers and extends credit to them?
And an explanation that it's a risk, it's a process. It's a risk-based assessment. If you're a company of 20 people, if you're a small business, and you have a few customers that you extend credit to on a regular basis, what's your risk? If you've never had an issue of identity theft, if you've never been notified by anyone, any customer that, you've got an account, I'm getting bills from you, and that's not me. If your industry isn't an industry that has experienced identity theft, then under the FTC rules, you basically have no risk, as far as you know. As far as you know. One of the things that the rules do ask you to do is stay on top of it. But as far as the FTC rules are concerned, then you have no risk. You are a low-risk business with respect to red flags. So you don't need to roll out anything. You don't need to adopt any big new compliance plan. You just need to take a look at your business and say, there's something, we really don't have a risk here.